Okay, we're going to have a little look at and see how we can make a concept proposal video using PowerPoint 365. Now you can do this in Office 2016 version, but it's not as good. Okay, so if you haven't got the PowerPoint 2016 or Office 2016 installed, you can get Office 365 installed as part of our school account. Now what I've done here is I've made a PowerPoint up. I've put some slides in, which are basically just image grabs from Autodesk Fusion renders, and I've put a few animations in to show certain features that I want to promote. So I'm going to go quite quickly through what I've done. I've also put in an animation that I've created on Fusion, and within these things you can always crop them. So you can go into the formatting feature and you can crop. So even video, if you've got too much white space shown, you can see I've cropped this one already. You can basically crop those things to make it fit better. So there we go, my PowerPoint's all ready to go. I'm actually recording with a different piece of software over the top of it, so it's all quite tricky. In a minute you'll see a video of me as well, because when I use PowerPoint I'm going to use video in video, so you see the narrator as well. So how do I go about it? Well, I go into recording first of all, and I hit record slideshow. Once I get record slideshow, I get this coming up. Now you can see me, I've appeared in the bottom right corner. I'm looking at my camera, which is straight in front of me. Obviously you're not going to be doing all this talking that I'm doing, you're just going to be explaining your concept. But it is worth saying that you can edit things like the position of the video, and you can crop the size of the video later. So if you can see up the moment my head is got quite a lot of space above me, I don't need that much on there, so I'll probably crop this afterwards to show the example one. But what have we got? We got a left and right advanced slide button. Okay, we're recording as soon as I hit record up here. So once I hit the record button up here, we're going to start recording. I'm going to click on these buttons here to move me to each new slide. If I want to do any kind of annotation on the screen, I've got digital ink pens and colors and highlighters, so I can actually draw on the screen to make certain points if I want to. So let's have a look and see how we do it. So I'm going to hit record. So I'm going to start recording in, gives me a countdown, so I'm in. So the concept proposal that I'm putting forward is I'm going to do something for an action camera for Disney. Now I'm super important, this is me. If I wanted to do something to actually illustrate that, I can come and highlight underneath my name, or I can digital ink on the screen to sort of show things if I choose to. I'm not going to do any of that because I don't need to. I'm going to move on to my next slide. So here's my first view of my camera. Sorry, I'm pressing delete instead of enter. So there's my shutter release button. My shutter release button is what actually takes the photograph. So when I click that down, it's very convenient, it's very comfortable, it's easy to use. Okay, over here I've got a mode selector button. The mode selector button is basically to switch between different types of photography and video. So if I want to do a macro, if I want to take a nighttime shot, if I want a video, and so on, that's that feature. Over here I've got an anti-slip rubber grip, so I don't want anyone to drop my camera and I want them to feel comfortable using it. This helps them to hold the camera nicely. I've got a telescopic lens. This will extend out to 30 times digital zoom, so I can take some really good action pictures or distance pictures if I choose to, and when I retract the lens it goes inside the body and it remains protected. Over here I've got my auto flash, so that comes on in dark conditions. I can force the flash if I want to, but for backlighting purposes, but basically it comes on when I need it. So I'm going to move through. Here's a reverse view of the camera, so you can see that I've got a screen menu button here. That basically allows me to scroll through all the different features, to set up the camera, to change settings, and to review photographs and video that's on the screen. The screen itself is high resolution, it's anti-glare, I can use it in all sorts of lighting conditions, it's very good. Here's a side view of my camera. I've got a navigation touch panel here, so while I'm actually taking pictures I can use my thumb to move up and down to actually zoom in and change things on a kind of interactive manner. I've got a USB socket here which will allow me to offload my photos and video onto a computer or onto a USB stick. I've also got a charger socket so I can plug in my camera, and when I'm happy with that it's charged I can obviously go and use it. It's got built-in batteries in the camera, so I don't need to change anything. Moving on, so over here, this view here is where I've got my branding logo. So basically I need to know that my client knows that this camera belongs to Disney, so people want to buy it. Okay, so I've now finished apart from the video, so I've gone into my video here now. It's moving through, giving me I can say whatever I want, extra detail about my camera, the things that people might really want to take note of, the curved edges, the pink color, the, you know, aesthetically nice view of it, and there's that logo to tell us who it all belongs to. So at that point, I think I've finished my video. I'm going to come up to the top and I'm going to hit stop. So now, once I've stopped it, I can come up the top, click close, and it takes me back into my slideshow. Now, what you can see in the slideshow is, first of all, that the digital inking and things I put on have remained, and I've also got the video. So in the bottom right-hand corner there now, you can see my head. Now, I was saying I can go in and format that, so if I decided that I want to actually make that video a bit smaller, because I don't need to take up so much space, and I don't need it to show so much of my office environment, I can move these things around, and now I can decide if I want that in that position or somewhere else. I can do that on any different page. I'm not going to do all that now. I'm going to go through and I'll change those in a minute. But once I'm happy that that's all correct and working, and I can actually click on any of those videos and play them myself and listen. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. I'm wearing headphones, so I can hear myself talking back there, so I know that's all working nicely. So I've got everything the way I want it. All my slides are done. My videos are all sorted. What I need to do now is to turn it into an actual video. So to do that, I need to go back into my recording panel, and I need to export to video. So if I click export to video, I get various settings coming up here. I think I chose HD is fine. You could probably even get away with a lower one, HD 720, but I used a full screen size, so I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to tell it to create my video, and I'm just on normal creative video. I don't need to do any other fancy stuff. I'm just going to go for a straightforward video, and I'm going to tell it to put mine on my desktop, and I'm going to call it camera presentation, and I'll call it 2 because I'm not sure if I've already done one or not, and I'll hit save. And what it will do then is, you'll see down the bottom here it says creating video camera presentation, and it will work through this little bar starting to go as I'm talking, and it will create that video for me. So I'm going to jump ahead in a moment and show you what it actually looks like finished. Okay, so I've opened the video now. It's finished rendering. I've got it into VLC player, which is just a media player. So I should now be able to click on it. That I'm putting forward is I'm going to do something for an action camera. And I can check along my timeline, so see that it all works. Times digital zoom, so I can take some really good action pictures or sorts of lighting conditions. It's very good. Okay, so I'm happy that that all works. So basically, this one that I did, although I was making stuff up along the way and I was doing a bit of explanations as well, that's just about 3 minutes. You've got to do a video between 2 and 3 minutes. So hopefully that's given you a bit of insight into how you can go about doing that. Good luck.